Miggy were. We would go in and we'd just be running around, putting our little God, what are they called?
Defibrillator.
Yeah, defibrillators together.
That's my favorite.
And so I got to feel that glory as a small part of one team, and then our squad was typically anytime Alan was running the chopper or Miggy was running the tank, our squad was obviously going to be on top. So then we got to be our small unit part of something bigger too. So I absolutely hear you, Big Box, and I love the back and forth, or not the back and forth, because it wasn't like we were arguing or anything. But I got to disagree with part of that, because Battlefield did that in spades for me. So what about?
I'm gonna throw it over to Captain Logan. Logan, have you played any Battlefield games? I see you've got Call of Duty running in the background. So which one are you more of a fan of in general? Were you more of a COD fanboy or Battlefield?
It would probably lean more towards Call of Duty, but that's because of the more inclusive spread of game styles that they offer. I think Battlefield does a fantastic job with its war simulator. There's a game out that I think is Hell Let Loose, that's really popular, that I think does Battlefield the way we remember Battlefield compared to how Battlefield is nowadays. I think that the focus on a lack of classes for the last installment that they had, that really just kind of what was it, 2042? Did more harm than good. It was also butting up against two alternatives in the genre that were both free to play compared to a $70 purchase for that. So I think the changes that they made in Battlefield for this last installment were the real killers of the franchise. I think them returning to classes later on helped them, but I think that the formula that they have stands true. There is, yes, you're not going to know what all the people are doing when it's 40v40, but there's something about the chaos that is war that is simulated better in Battlefield than any other game out there. And I think that speaks to a lot of people who kind of remember games like Medal of Honor and stuff, where there was just constant gunfire and bombs exploding, things like that, and having something like that. It's why a lot of people like Star Wars Battlefront as well too. Those games did really well because they loved the big aspect of a giant war. And to say that feeling like you want to be a small part of a team, you still had that with those Battlefield games. You could still run around with your squad. You could still go out and take points and push objectives and kind of flank around with you and one or two squads if you could convince enough people to follow you, kind of thing. So games like that, I think, are still viable. I don't necessarily think that they need to adopt a different games plan because those games have more install base or more players or more games sold. I think you keep doing what you're doing, you refine it, you try not to deviate so much that people will hate you for it, kind of like what happened with a lot of Assassin's Creed or Far Cry games, where they just kind of pushed a little too far in one wrong direction and had to bring it back. And you can still have a lot of success with Battlefield games. So I'm hopeful for them, honestly.
Nice. Jose, what do you think about Big Box comments there about the large scale versus a smaller focused team?
I mean, what I do agree with is I am a little worried about the next one, only from the perspective of I was super hyped for 2042, and then we talked about the bugs, and that was just a real letdown, because Battlefield was the game we've talked about many times that brought our friend group together truly, as adults. So I'm only hesitant is probably not even the right word, just because I want it to be so good. But I actually do agree with Chance entirely. One of my favorite things about Battlefield is that you get that squad experience when you're playing with a group of friends and you're on comms and stuff like that, but then you're in this big war zone. One of the things I think is unique about Battlefield is I feel like in COD, I never really get support from anyone unless they're in my team, where in Battlefield, that is not the case. So
or unless you're in Warzone specifically.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? In Battlefield, you can be knocked and literally some random dude will show up with a med kit, revive you, and then just run away. I like that feature a lot about Battlefield. So I'm really excited for this. I mean, I think, again, like I said last week, I'm really excited that they've got a lot of teams working on this. I would love to have some of that nostalgia brought back of what we did. Like I love the fact that we could really spend time with each other. And now that our gaming community has grown so much between all the podcast shows and our other friends and De Niro and Eric and Nissa and everybody, I think it'd be really cool to get some bigger games if we can have that, because there's not a lot of games where you can have a squad that large and all be like in the same match. And again, I don't know if that's going to happen, but I think that would be very cool.
Bacon, closing thoughts on Big Box and Battlefield?
No, I'm going to do them one better. Instead of 40v40, we should have 80v80. Bigger
Bring
maps,
back Mag, am I
more
right,
fun.
Bacon?
Exactly. But
like
no, there's you know how when you die and you're with your squad and 3 of you die and you see that one green dot still at that capture point and you're like,
Try to click
waiting
it
for your
as fast.
timer to click down and you're trying to click on it and then you see his icon turn red and he's in a fight and you're like, oh God, please be alive. Please, I don't want to run that far again. And then he dies and then you spawn into a helicopter and then fly it into a crane and the crane falls over and kills a boat. Dude, there's nothing better than Battlefield. There's nothing better than the Battlefield moments. And I say it gives me people on a map. Conquest 24/7. Nothing but Conquest. Let's go.
Really? We were all about Rush. We loved
I
Rush.
don't play anything but Conquest, bro.
Loved me some Rush.
Does anybody? Did they confirm it's going to have a battle royale? I guess that's the last.
I'm
question.
sure it will.
Did they confirm it?
They
It's a
have to,
rumor, but
right?
not confirmed.
I would be interested in that. I'm not gonna lie. I think just adding another game mode. I love Conquest. I'm more. We were more Rush guys, Bacon. We played so much Rush. We were Rush.
I mean, when you think
pros.
about it, you can set up as a sniper in Battlefield and be hidden and just be sniping for 20 minutes. Where in Call of Duty, you might get one shot off and then someone's going to see your scope glint and then next thing you know, you're dead. Like you can actually do things in Battlefield. I mean, you're not a great teammate if you do that, but you can do things in Battlefield
Yeah.
you just can't do anywhere else. You got your spawn beacon there and you're just oh man, I cannot wait. for
Guys,
proper
Porsche
Battlefield.
Power said base Bacon. Eric said let's get on 20. It's installed.
Just download
Eric.
it this week.
I'm ready to go, Eric. Send me an invite.
I'll have to download it.
Okay. Bacon has like 8 terabytes of space, and yet he deletes everything if he's not playing it for some reason. Guys, that has been the Nerd Chat shoutouts. Let's jump right into the news, everybody.
We have one more very important shout out.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Mystery box. There's a mystery box.
So a
Let's hear it.
very special
What?
mystery box showed up at my house today. I don't know if you can read what that says.
It says the Nerd Bros, Denver, Colorado. Is that from Eric?
Is that a
It
PO
is not
box?
from Eric. It is from one of the other friends in our chat, Mr. Ainsley Bowden.
Oh,
What?
Always your controller got
Haynes,
sent back?
where is my? Oh, it's the controller.
Is it the controller?
I want to send you guys something, and so it came in today. I don't know what's in. I'm literally opening it as we speak.
Must
It's
not
the
be the
controller
controller.
you stole from. He
Got a
stole
bunch
from.
of wrapping.
Is wrapping.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Safety first. And this is awesome. These are a bunch of freaking sweet coins. I assume these are from
Oh my
wow.
gosh!
Ben Kenobi. There's a Call of Duty one. There's a
Ooh.
Can I have the avowed one?
no. There's one for each of us of all the coins. Like
Nice.
Really?
Ainsley Bobby Bowden did something
Wow.
nice for us.
yeah.
What a guy. He's always nice to us.
Back-
That's to make up for that 7 out of 10 he gave Avowed.
That was him. That was him.
Oh, that was Travis.
So we got Pal World
Oh,
and the X on the back, which is sweet. We got maybe this is
This
you
one's
want-
coming in
this
a
is
little
good.
soft, you guys.
And cutting out a little bit, yeah.
That's
Right, it's because I'm moving away from my mic.
Yes.
That's why.
Okay.
Because I'm talking. A whole bunch of them. I'll send you guys pics later. But Ains,
Yes. Post
dude,
it.
That
Heck
is
yeah.
Thanks,
Do you guys
Ains.
know the origins of why people carry coins on them?
It's military stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if someone puts a coin down at a bar and you don't have a coin on you, you're buying him his drink. So we all always had a coin on us in the military.
Oh,
Yeah.
God,
I
you
usually
guys are
buy
so
drinks.
I got some
Yeah.
really big ones I got from my time in the military. I use them as golf markers now.
Yeah, makes sense.
Shout out to Todd Oxter. He said, "Oh my goodness, the week of a PS State of OK, and you guys have the Xbox guy." We're also going to talk about
course we
this was
do.
not planned, Todd. We have Captain Logan bringing his first impressions from Avowed, and
only
he
got
offered to come
120
on.
Chivos, though.
So
Are we only doing that for reviews of games we have in our Fantasy Critic League, or
let's not start that. Let's jump into PlayStation news for the week, Jose.
News team, assemble!
All right, as always, what did I forget? God.
I told you
Timestamps.
timestamps when we started, and you just
God,
De
so
Niro.
did De Niro. De Niro
right
said that.
because Nero's our dude.
News story number 1. State of OK 2025, aka State of Play 2025. We're going to talk about
State
what
of
was
mid.
announced. But first, I have a confession to make. I was nervous about big bucks. Well, I'm going to talk about big bucks here in a second. Bacon. I was afraid he wasn't going to be here, you guys, because
I was one too.
this week I made a purchase, and I have to show it to everybody now.
So funny.
First thing I got was the new iPhone 16
That's a
Pro.
good one.
Finally
call.
upgraded Pro
Lucky.
Max.
Pretty boring, just white, just looks like a lame color.
I
You
had
can
the
go with,
purple
What does
one.
this have to do
You
with
never
the
saw
state of
it.
play?
We're getting there. We're getting there. Next purchase I made, and Captain Logan likes to roast me, is I got a new faceplate for my Scuff Instinct Pro controller. I think it looks pretty
Where is
sick.
it?
It's
I don't see
So
it.
camo, dude. Can't see it, bruh.
Dan, can you go get your controller? You left it. It's behind you.
those
then-
faceplates are the only good thing.
Hold
about
on,
the
folks.
Scuff.
Here's the payoff.
Here it is, guys. It's the return of my Scuff Reflex Pro big box. I have to bend the knee to you again, back to back weeks.
What happened? I don't understand.
He
I
wasted
told-
$700.
I told Bacon I was getting FOMO that I wasn't going to be able to get another GPU with the tariffs on China and everything that's been going on. I'm never going to be able to upgrade. My GPU is going to continue to wither and die and become useless. And since every game is coming to PlayStation now,
They're also coming to PC, Dan.
I went out
Yeah, you already have a.
and
No,
made
you
a
didn't.
$700
No, you
purchase.
didn't.
He
No,
bought a
you
pro, bro.
didn't.
He bought a pro. He wasted $700.
How come I didn't know about this?
Because you haven't been paying attention.
I've been talking about it all week in the Discord on the
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah,
It's to be fair, that party chat probably has like 250 messages.
yes. after
Bickering about-
one turd in the bathroom, like I go for.
I'm
5
just kidding,
minutes.
you guys. I didn't buy a PS5. Screw this controller. I'm not gonna buy a Pro. Bacon, you really think I was gonna get that crap? Get rid of that crap and that crappy controllers. PlayStation has no games. They only brag about playing Xbox games now.
I still think you bought one because Chipotle.
Eric, I'm not getting a
got
Pro. Are
me.
you kidding me? Screw
got
that.
me.
Everything's coming to PC, and I'll play it there and earn trophies and play at 4K, 60
I
FPS
did
guaranteed.
see you were on the PS app, so I didn't know if you logged into a PlayStation game on Steam or not.
Look at Diego. Woo!
Yeah, I'll be
He
honest,
was
I
worried.
mostly worried because I thought Allie would murder Dan.
I did too.
Yeah.
Like I
yeah.
legit.
Well, no, if I would have won that bet, you bet your buns I was going to go buy a
He
PS5.
even had a receipt
Why?
from Target.
I'm just kidding.
And
Guys,
mysterious
let's get into
$500 gift cards.
The PS5 State of OK, February 2025. Logan, I'm going to throw it over to you first. What was the one game that you are extremely excited for from this State of Play? On a serious note, one. You have to pick one.
Onimusha, the new one. It looked really good. I thought that it had humor, which, bro, like the fact that they were like throwing some jokes into the trailer, I was like, okay, this is cool. I like this. I appreciate it. I remember playing Onimusha on my PlayStation 2 forever ago, and they're coming out with a remake for 2. I don't know if I would call that a remake. It looks more like just like an upscaling to me, but dude, I can't wait for this Onimusha. We're like inundated with ninjas and samurai right now. It's wild. 2025, the
It
year
is
of the
crazy.
ninja. Call of Duty's getting Teenage Mutant Ninja
Dude, oh
Turtles.
my God, save it. We're going to talk about that. I was shocked.
But like freaking like what is with 2025? And they're just like, hey, we're just going to talk about ninjas for the next year. You guys
We're going to
good
get a
with
good
that?
ninja movie
There's so
here.
many ninjas.
Last Samurai 2, Bacon?
American
Oh,
Ninja.
God,
Y'all
stop.
remember that from the 80s?
Onimusha for
Where-
Logan.
No?
Sorry,
Yeah.
were you saying something, Logan?
I was just going to call for them to bring back the kids from Three Ninjas.
Oh,
And doing,
Oh.
where
no,
are they now?
Surf Ninjas. I think you meant Surf Ninjas.
Surf
Ho-
Ninjas?
Jose?
No, it's 3
Surf-
ninjas
Find it. You
too.
gotta find
There's
it.
both.
There's also
Right?
Three Ninjas.
Well, 3 Ninjas, but Surf Ninjas.
Oh, Moto.
Jose.
Where did I put that one on here?
Oh, dang it. Bubble Boy, while Jose is looking for it, what was the game that stood out to you?
Oh, I
the
think you already
most?
know the answer, don't you?
I actually don't. I really,
Oh,
I don't remember anything. I'm not going to
Days-
lie, you guys. I
Days
don't
Gone
remember
remaster.
anything.
It's a Days Gone remaster. Yeah. as
Did you
a
say
true
another remaster?
Days Gone. As a true PlayStation fanboy, I need me some more remasters. Shower me in remasters, please. No, but I really am. That's the one I'm most excited about. I loved it, and I can't wait to play it on the PC of like. Right? What's it say? And on PC, you can pay $10 if you own the game to get new. Yeah, I
boy.
love it.
Wait. Is that confirmed that if you
Same
own
way you
it
did
on
on
PlayStation, if you
same
own
way they
it
did it
on
for
PlayStation,
Horizon.
if you own the PS4 version, you'll be able to upgrade for $10. It says, oh no, it's saying on PC if you already own it on PC, you can upgrade for $10.
Which
so,
I probably had a physical copy of that game, honestly. So I
I
own it
bought
twice.
it on PS4 and for like $10, never got to it, and now I don't have my PlayStation, so I'll probably have to. I think I will buy this.
But they
when it
didn't
goes
say
on
how
sale.
much, right?
Yeah,
It's $50 on PlayStation for the new everything. I mean, I paid $9 for it on Steam, and then $10
Yeah.
will be my upgrade, so $19. So
Any comments here about another remaster? Or is this, I don't even think we have a reaction.
Hold on,
This is
hold on.
just
Time
what
out.
they do.
Bacon, you
What's
can do
left?
that, so I can just because it's only like $8 on Steam right now. I
yeah,
can do-
like that's how I got Horizon. I did it through
it's
Epic, but it
$8 on
should be the
Steam?
same. Yeah, I
Oh, then
bought.
I'm gonna do that.
I
for
bought
sure.
Horizon for
Buying it right
$9 on Epic, and then paid
Oh,
$10
yeah.
upgrade.
Then. Sold.
Logan, you're a big fan of remasters, so what did you think of this? I got to go to you right away. Remaster Station 5, Days Gone. What did you
Oh,
think
my
when
God.
you saw this?
I mean, I hate it, honestly. I hate these remasters or remakes, dude. I like the only good ones that I've ever seen have come from Capcom.
Yeah,
The only
yeah.
ones that are really like going out there and putting in the work and the effort.
Remakes.
That's
And
fair.
I appreciate that. Like Metroid Prime remaster was like the last one that I bought, and I'm just, I don't know, man. Like
How
Days
was
Gone-
that, by the way? At least that was only 40,
Oh,
though. At
dude, it's
least.
beautiful. It's freaking, it's amazing. Like Metroid Prime looks amazing right now, and I can't wait to see like what the they needed to go back and do all of them. I'm waiting for Nintendo to just keep re-releasing the content. Where's my Wind Waker HD?
Where's Wind Waker HD, Nintendo?
I'm yeah. So, but no, I saw the Days Gone thing, and I saw the modes that they were adding, and I'm just like, bro, just this was not this. There's no reason. There's no reason to do it. It plays perfectly fine.
Gentle Stone PlayStation / the years of the the generation of remasters is exactly what the PS5 has become. Jose, what about you? What was your favorite game from the State of Play 2025? State of OK, sorry, 2025.
So here's the thing. The one that I think it's a little bit of a hot take, except for Todd and this in the chat. I think the Octopus one looks sweet. The Darwin's Paradox one. I think that looks awesome. Because it's like a side scroller. It's a puzzle game. I love puzzle games. I mean, the one that I want to say,
you
to be fair,
Play the Dave the Diver DLC.
I saw that too, but I love Dave the Diver. I do, but I don't want to just keep talking about the same games over and over. So I like something new. I liked the Solus one. Like I'm intrigued by what that is, and I like Housemarque because of Returnal, obviously. Even though I still haven't played Returnal, I have it on his PC right now, downloaded. I have not played it yet. But I think it was Ains was talking about it at one point on his show or in our chat that like it's just hard for me to get super excited for CGI trailers anymore because it's just not enough.
I agree.
Even though this was very well done, I like everything I saw. I just want to see more. So the one that because I saw gameplay of it, I think the Octopus one looks dope. Bacon, you're shaking your head. No, can I ask why?
It's not my kind of game, but
That's fair. That's fair. I love it.
I know you like those kinds of games.
I do.
I ain't gonna hate.
Bacon, what was your favorite announcement? It's probably, I'm guessing, the Sorrows.
No, actually, my favorite one is Shinobi.
Oh,
But
okay.
the one I'm going to play the most is going to be the Returnal reboot or Returnal 2. But I
Is it?
remember-
Wait. Is this a sequel? Is it really a
It's-
sequel,
yes,
or is it like?
You could tell it's Returnal because you saw the eyes and then the bullet hell coming out of the guy's eyes at the end and doing the spiral. It's definitely Returnal. I don't know how this dude fits in. I think Joe knows because they read a whole disposition on it on their show after they watched it. But let's be honest here, gentlemen. I remember when Xbox did a show and all the Twitter said was, "Hold on, it's CGI. It's so far away. You guys can't get excited for CGI. CGI. That was CGI. All of it. I'm super excited for that game. Can't wait to play it because Returnal is probably their best IP. But crazy excited for 2 games in this, and that's it. So are we doing grades later or now for the whole show, or when we're done?
I guess we can go in a second. I'll just say what I really liked. I'm glad that Housemarque is making a new game, and that's the highlight for me. Even though I haven't played Returnal yet, I plan on it. I believe it's on my wish list. I'll
Super
get to
good,
it
gentlemen. Super good.
Eventually.
It's crazy hard too.
But other than that, probably Stupid Days Gone Remastered. But to be fair, I have not played the game yet. So I've always thought about, I even think even Logan and multiple people in our chat told me just not to even get it. And so now.
And to be fair, I was playing Horizon before the upgrade because I just needed to get it done so I could get to the next Horizon. So I played right before the upgrade and then right after it, and it was noticeable. The water looked incredible. There was a lot of the lip syncing and the dialogue and stuff. So the upgrade for $10 was well worth it. I haven't played Days Gone, so I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know
if it's going to be worth it or not. But I will say the Horizon upgrade was definitely worth it.
Okay, Jose, what would you give the State of OK 2025?
I'll be honest with you. I can't give a grade because I didn't watch the show. I literally watched the trailers of the ones that I liked. I can talk about why later when we get to like our food and stuff this week. So I don't.
Got it.
It's not right for me to do that.
Bacon.
So
What's your grade?
My grade for a standard show like a Keighley Summer Games Fest, I'm gonna give that at least a 7.5. A lot of games in there I was intrigued with. But as a PlayStation state of play for only PlayStation games coming to the PlayStation by PlayStation first party, that was a 4. We got one trailer, CG trailer, and then Days Gone remaster. That is not what a state of play make.
Todd, I'd love to hear what you would give this. Todd, write in the chat for me. Captain Logan, what would you rate this State of?
So you guys are doing a 10-point scale with half points?
No.
Jason Bacon does his own thing. I'm passionate.
All right.
And then I'm gonna do a grade, so just strap in.
Oh, okay. Well, I figure in this case, I'll stick with like a 10-point scale. I'll be honest. This was like hovering between a 5 and a 6 for me.
I agree.
I
was going to give it a 5.
Yeah, it just was not exciting. There was like the one thing that I was like happy about, and then that was it. I don't know. Like Soros having a CG trailer, I'm fine with that. I was completely fine with Interstellar.
At least it's next year, right?
Yeah, next year. And like, what was the Intergalactic or Interstellar? Like, what was the game? Intergalactic. Yeah, that was all CG, and I was completely fine with that. That looked fantastic, but it had a lot of character
Product
to
placement.
it. Yeah. Product. I'm fine with product. keep it rooted in history if you want to. I mean, you can go to the moon landing in Starfield if you want to talk about product placement,
that's true.
Government influence or something. But I'm totally fine with CG trailers. They don't really show me like what I'm going to be doing, but at the same time, like I'm happy to have like hype for that kind of stuff. So, but overall, like it just wasn't interesting. It wasn't compelling. There was nothing that really spoke to me as why I needed to have my PlayStation. When later on you see the tweet of all the content that was in that trailer, it's all coming over to Xbox and PC and stuff, and you're like, okay, well, I'll have access to that content, and it'll all be content this year and a couple next year. But I mean, it doesn't tell me why I need to keep my PlayStation,
and that's why I scored it twice. Because a standard show, I thought it was fine. Actually pretty decent.
Yeah. I got to give credit for that.
Nothing forces me to buy a PlayStation from watching that show. I am sorry.
But nobody buys PlayStations for exclusives.
That's fair.
I would say, though, overall, I do think it was paced really well. I think they did a good job. They showed a lot. Mm-hmm. I can give it that. Bubble Boy, final grade or gamer grade for this?
D+ if I'm a Sony pony, because I'm like, yeah, why? Who cares? Not who cares, but like, thanks. Or if I'm a new parent trying to get their kids into gaming and I'm deciding what system to jump into, this did nothing for me. Maybe a C- if I,
thought I was alone.
Got it.
No.
Yeah.
A lot of we had some. What it was? Todd said it's a 6 from me. None of the games stood out. They all look similar, excluding the octopus game and Shinobi.
Excluding is what
I know. And game positive, since PlayStation doesn't do showcases anymore, I'm comparing state of play versus Xbox Showcase, and by that metric, this was a solid 4 to 5 out of 10. And Todd asked, was Soros the only game not coming to Xbox and PC? I'd be shocked.
Actually,
I don't
it'll
know
be
if
on
they,
PC. Just not.
I mean,
being
it'll
made.
eventually be on PC, but I don't know what day and date. And De Niro said 6, and Ainsley, Bobby Bowden said, yeah, I'm about a 6. We're clearly seeing PlayStation's broken road.
I was going to get yelled at tonight, but here I am getting support.
But speaking of PlayStation broken roadmap, let's jump into news story number 2. PlayStation is killing it on their financials, you guys. This is coming from Derek over at Tweaktown. He tweeted out a bunch of finance stats here after the, what is this, Q3 fiscal year 24. Am I right on that, Jose, Mr. Econ?
Well, every company's is a little different. But
I know. So what do we know what dates these were? Actually, I don't know. Actually, we can
I don't know.
Why do they give us these great graphs? But why can I see
one I
what
sent was
months
better.
there are? Anyway, $11 billion in revenue, a new all-time high. Yes. Eric, I hope you're listening. A new all-time high for a third quarter of a fiscal year in 2024, beats previous Q3 holiday periods, driven by a strong $3.8 billion in hardware and sales. They exceeded sales, Bacon.
I have a
They
better
sold,
graph.
they're up to 75 million. I see that here. 75 million PS5s distributed, not sold necessarily. And then revenue was 11 billion, operating income was 775 million, and then, but this is despite the new revenue record. And this is why Eric likes to bring this up. Shout out to Game Positive all the time. PlayStation's operating margin was just 7%. Now, I didn't attend the Harvard of the West like Jose. Jose went to University of Northern Colorado, aka the Harvard of the West. He was an econ guy. Jose, can you explain to me why this 7% is a big deal, little deal, or no deal at all for PlayStation? Because all I see is PlayStation's killing it in my eyes. So talk to me, Jose.
I mean, so it depends on your perspective here. And I know Bacon is going to give his perspective, which is totally fine. I mean, I didn't really do a lot of research in this. I'll be very honest with you. In my opinion, when a company has a profit, they're doing fine.
That's fair.
Right? Like that's the bottom line. So as long as you're not losing money, realistically, you're doing fine. Now, at the same time, do companies, of course, want to grow? Absolutely. Do they want to have that next big hit or that thing that just blows everybody out of the water in a generation or for your product or whatever it is? Absolutely. You know, to quote our friend Joe, who very badly wanted to be here, but we chose Logan instead. You know, he made
smart play.
A fair point in saying that, you know, Sony's operated at this 7% margin for a long time. That's not like new this year.
Wait. Let me break.
I have a question.
Yep. Wait, I got to interrupt you.
I'm looking between 2019 and 2020 when they're at 22 and 21%.
Jose, can you bring that up right now? I just sent it in our private chat. Jose just said they've been at this 7% for a long time. Yeah. We've got breaking news right here. Shout out to Derek over at Tweaktown. We've got the stats. 2016, 13%, 6.8, 6.5. 2017, 13, 12, 4, up to 2018, 18, 16, 9, 13, 2019, 16, 14, 8, 11, 2020, my gosh, 20, 21%, steep decline down to 9%, 5%, 2021, 14, 13. So that one's pretty consistent. 2021, right around the 13, 14 area. 2022, 9, 6, 9, 4, 23, 6% usually is the average there, maybe 7, 2024, 8, 14, and 7%. But look at that green 11.05. My gosh.
Concord worked into that?
We have to bring into effect, you guys.
Had to have.
Guys, look at how much money PlayStation is making. And this was the same quarter, I believe, where Call of Duty's on Game Pass. Indiana Jones. Xbox is dead. Jose, sorry to interrupt. Go back to what you're saying about percentages and profit.
So just a very quick explanation. And then I know Bacon is aching, so I'm going to get it to Bacon, I promise. What a margin is, if you don't know what a margin is basically, it's kind of like the extra that you're earning after you're recouping all your costs and stuff, but it's not purely money. That's a common misconception. And so what's nice about a margin is like if it's growing, it's kind of like you're making more money than you should, is kind of a weird way to think about it, versus when your margins are really smaller, you're still making a profit, but it's a much smaller one. Like another way to think about it is, so Walmart, the company Walmart, they're an incredibly big, powerful, wealthy company. Their margin on products is tiny, meaning that like they don't care that they only make a penny or 10 cents or 5 cents profit on a product, because the way that they make money is they sell billions of products times 1% at profit margin, they make a ton of money. There are other companies, think of like really high profile fashion companies that sell really huge margins. So they might only sell one shirt or one dress or one pair of shoes, but they sell it at 400% profit, right? So there are two models of way of making money. Both of them are perfectly acceptable. I think that the argument you could make on behalf of Sony's point right now is that when their margins are low, but they're selling lots of units, they're still making lots of money. Now, obviously, one of the bigger concerns, and I'll give this to Bacon, is if their profits start to stay the same, but their units shrink, that's significantly less money. Does that make sense? Because it's not as much as being sold. The other way that I would just encourage you to think of a graph like this, just again, being equitable here, is that when you're comparing numbers, it's not necessarily fair to compare numbers that are side by side, even though you obviously are going to see those dips and growth and stuff like that. You want to look at the percentages at the same quarter, because there are other factors you have to consider. Like typically whatever the quarter around Christmas is, always is going to go up. So it's not so much that you care about Christmas versus the next quarter, you care about Christmas versus the Christmas before. Does that make sense?
So quarter 3 here, 7%, quarter 3 last year, 6%.
And before that was 9%. So there is fluctuation. Again, I'm not saying it's been perfectly static, like Joe said in our chat, but it is within a reason. Now, obviously on this graph, you can see here in the center, there's this really big growth, 20%, 21% in Q1 and 2 of 2020. That doesn't surprise anyone. It doesn't surprise me, because what happened at that time?
The pandemic.
Stay inside, stay alive.
And it was when the console generation came out, right? Like it's still hot. Everybody's trying to buy it. They can sell them at even inflated prices for what they're making them for. So it's awesome.
Sorry, I got to read this comment here. Gentle Stone said, "Does this account for their canceled live service projects and shuttered acquisitions?" Jose, that's expense. Included, right?
Yep, all expense.
In theory, yes. In theory, this is everything, right? And when you talk about operating income, it's kind of like. So one quick example, and I really will give this to Bacon. I work at a school. I made that very clear. Every year when we budget for our school, we get a chunk of money theoretically from the state of Colorado, and we have to say, okay, we have to set this aside for teacher salary. We have to set this aside for like retirement plans. Basically, every year, almost all of our money is spent before the year even starts, and then we have this tiny fraction of that we get to say, like, okay, should we buy new things for classrooms, or should we upgrade the gym, or whatever it is. The same thing happens for Sony. So even though they have a margin and they're like a profit margin, they have to still consider operating costs of their employees, all of their facilities, their factories. They have to also pay for like the creative element of this, and they have to build in money for like potential future growth. In other words, when a game is like in production, but they're not selling it yet, for which sometimes is for years and years and years, they're just burning that money away, hoping that they're going to recoup it. That's part of that big whole narrative that we keep hearing about, how people are worried about what's like the cost of games is getting too high. And that's why prices are raising, but people can't afford the games. Like it's a whole balancing system. So all that being said, it is complex. I think it's fair to say that Sony is still doing well financially, but I could see why they could also be concerned, because like we just saw with this, there's not a whole lot on the slate right now that is exclusive to them. So I'm going to stop there. Bacon,
before I throw it to Bacon, Todd Oxter said Sony is also a Japanese company and they have issues with the yen and their economy. And Game Positive, Eric, who's always bringing these numbers to us, the problem with tight margins is each big investment is much riskier. That's why we see way more sequels and remasters. Intergalactic, The Heretic Prophet, God, that's a terrible title, is probably terrifying Sony accountants right now. And Todd said Concord cost $400 million over who knows how many years, but made zero income after refunds. That's also lost opportunity investment that could have been used elsewhere. And Gentle said, thank you, Jose. I'm not a numbers person, and the only financials I worry about are my own. That's the only ones you should worry about. Who cares about Sony? But Bacon has been waiting and wants to share about Sony. No. Go ahead.
Okay. I didn't go to the Harvard of Colorado. I have
It's the West, Bacon, not just Colorado.
Okay. I have
Everything
4
west
years
of
in
the
college, and that netted me 2 associate's degrees, and one of them was from a trade school. I'm just seeing this as I got paid $11 billion, and I was able to put 700 million in the bank. Am I wrong? The rest of it was spent, used, paid, like employee costs and all that jazz. So they pocketed $700 million, right? Is that what I'm getting from this? From the
I mean, maybe, yes. I
Roughly.
mean, possible. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm just saying that's a lot of money going out and a little bit coming in. And everybody wonders why they embraced PC is because of this. Imagine if PC wasn't there selling copies of Helldivers 2 and stuff like that to help with these margins. So, again, I don't want anyone to fail. And I am a Sony shareholder, mind you. And I don't know why they had to split their stock earlier this year. I had like 6 shares and they split it. Now I got 20 something shares.
That's
Good.
good.
That's great thing,
Yeah,
Bacon.
Yeah, so that's good. So I'm living
So
the
they're
high
killing
life.
it.
I'm getting my dividends from Sony. I'm not buying PlayStation
Disclaimer:
consoles.
Bacon is a Sony shareholder and a Microsoft shareholder.
And an Nvidia shareholder. I just figured if 11 billion's coming in, we could pocket more than 775 million. But again, I went to trade school and then I went to the police academy and I got associate's degrees. I got 2 associate's degrees, mind you guys. I couldn't go for that bachelor's. I had to get 2 associate's degrees. So
That's all right, bud.
I'm not very smart, but I do know how to build computers. So
You're very smart, Bacon.
Logan, let's hear your, fair approach to this Sony Pony numbers here. Let's hear what do you
So-
think about seeing all this?
Honestly, the thing that I was kind of gravitating the most towards was the actual breakdown of where the revenue was split, and seeing that 2000 in or like 26 or I can't even $2,600 billion I think was brought in from add-on content, like $2,600 compared to the 2,120 billion for digital software. They're making more money here on add-ons than they are for actual game sales, which to me really just kind of says like, okay, well, nobody's buying new games. They're spending more money in old games, at which point looking at like what their other stuff is that seeing the physical software drop and seeing that the just how abysmal that is, like no wonder nobody's pushing for physical software or like discs anymore. It's because there's no money in that production. But yeah, seeing the add-on content being more than the actual digital software and physical software combined, like I mean, you could take all of that and shove it together, and you barely come close to what add-on content is doing for games. So it's depressing to see that add-ons are what actually make money now.
like
And I got to
Warzone or
imagine the
Diablo.
number of games that are included in that add-on pie are minuscule.
Very few, like less than 10.
Compared to think of all the games that could be involved in that digital software. I mean, thousands and thousands out there, whereas we're talking a handful of that add-on. Yeah,
It's rough. It's rough
Jose,
to think.
just to close this off, bring it back to Xbox. I sent you a picture of
One
the
second.
console shipments, sell-in shipments of PS5 and Xbox Series in million units every year. And of course, these are estimates because Xbox does not share this information. In 2020, 4.5 million PS5s, 3.1 series consoles, pretty good there. 2021, 12.8 for PlayStation, 9.5 for Xbox. Hanging on, Xbox doing all right. 2022, 14 to 9.5 Xboxes. And then look at 2023, 22.7 million PlayStations to only 8.2 for Xbox. And right now, PlayStation through 3 quarters is at 20 million PS5s, and Xbox is only at 5.6. Bacon, is it time to bend the knee to Big
No.
Box?
no, stop.
Big box should bend the knee and come to PC so you can. I don't
Xbox
understand
is dead. Dang it, De Niro. You saw it there. What are we doing? Let's just all get PS5 Pros. Am I right, Eric? Oh, God. Anyway, that has been enough Sony Pony and PlayStation news for the week. Let's move on to our next news story. I want to throw it over to Bubble Boy. Bubble Boy brought us an interesting article here. He is very passionate. Not only did he share this article, but he's got some sort of summary statement right there. I'm shocked that he's very passionate. So, Chance, take it away for news story number 3 here.
And so this article that I found came from Eurogamer, and it's titled "Unity Slashes Jobs, Tells Employees They're Unemployed Via a 5 a.m. Email." And so just in case you don't know what Unity is, straight from their website, they're the leading platform to create and grow games and interactive experiences across all major platforms, from mobile, PC, console to extended reality. Over 1.1 million monthly active Unity editor users. So those would be like the developers, the people making games. 3.7 billion downloads per month of Unity made apps. Over 70% of the top 1,000 mobile games are made with Unity, and 25% of the top 1,000 PC games. They're enormous, they're powerful, they're everywhere. Basically, if you are playing a mobile game, most likely a PC game, quite a few console games, you are being touched in some way by the Unity engine. So that's why I think this is so important to know. This is their 6th round of cuts. And I will also say that I haven't seen a follow-up to this article yet. So, and I've been checking because I want to make sure I get this right. And the way it says, and this is from Tom Phillips, the editor-in-chief at Eurogamer. He said, yesterday, Unity team members impacted by the latest call reportedly, and I think that's important, reportedly woke to find out their fate via an email sent from a no reply at Unity email address at 5 a.m. Pacific time, stating their role had been eliminated by organizational changes. So to put that in perspective, imagine if, Jose's principal was just like, yeah, we don't need you anymore, at 5 a.m. and with a no reply. That is awful to me. I can't comprehend how horrible that would feel. I haven't ever lost my job, knock on wood, so I don't know what that would be like to begin with. And obviously sorry, I'm just had a slight brain fart. Here's the other side of this that I think I have to point out. So also from their website, they are saying, in light of all this, the 5 a.m. no reply email, their core values equal users first, best ideas win, in it together, and go bold. Great. Awesome. Okay. Then they go on to, this is how we live our core values, through empathy. Ooh. Empathy is necessary to validate the perspectives of others. It is the capacity to feel what another person is experiencing by putting yourself in their positions. How in God's name can they show any amount of empathy when they do something that? The next one, respect. Respect is a recognition of dignity. Yet we're going to fire all these people with an @no reply or a no reply email. It is about treating others how they want to be treated, which compels us to ask how they feel most valued. Well, I imagine a face-to-face conversation for something like this would help me feel most valued. And then last, opportunity. Opportunity is a guarantee that individuals are treated equitably, free from artificial barriers, prejudices, or preferences. I am just blown away by the hypocrisy of what they are putting out here and what might have happened with, I think it was 3,500 people. Let me go back up. Yeah, roughly 3,500 staff have been let go in the past 3 years. I don't know that all 3,500 got it in this way. My understanding is it was a smaller chunk of that, but I don't care if it was one person. That's not okay.
So Eric says Unity is reeling from their completely insane attempt to change monetization a while ago. They have been spiraling ever since. Yeah, we brought that up. Yeah. And I don't know. I've been let go or I don't know. Laid
non-renewed.
Right to it. I've been non-renewed. That's very true. Jose knows I was non-renewed, but I wasn't ever blatant, like randomly laid off. So did Bacon or Logan, do you guys have any experience being laid off, or do you want to add anything to Unity and how they handled this situation? Bacon, I'll go to you first.
I got fired in high school from Taco Time. It's like Taco Bell, but it's in Nevada and like Utah. It's better than Taco Bell. I'm going to put that out there. But this is wild. I have zero respect for Unity after this. I had little respect for them before, and you just add this to the Sony layoffs that happened 2 weeks ago. The amount of layoffs, I think the video games is heading for a crash. This is just wild.
Dinero Primero, do we see an end to all of these job losses in the gaming industry?
No, because AI is going to fix it all.
Logan, any closing thoughts here on the layoffs and general state of these layoffs in general?
I mean, it sucks. But I think a lot of this just comes down to the fact that the CEO decided that they were going to scare everyone by demanding to have like retroactive royalties for their engine. And that was like, okay, well, I guess everyone is not going to use Unity from now on. So congratulations, you killed your engine, and now you have to lay people off instead of you taking the hit and getting ousted.
Which is why, like, it makes me so interested in going back and looking at their core values. I'm like, and not that I'm going to stand up here and say core values are the most important thing ever, but I know in the educational world we revisit them every time we have a meeting. What are our core values? Why are we sitting here? What's our goal at the end of the day? Clearly, this guy wasn't doing that.
Yeah,
I think that's just all for show. But please bring up this breaking.
Hold on, though. It doesn't have to be, though, does it? Like
I know, but I'm just saying.
Can, and Daniel, you say that because you work for Aurora Public Schools, but I think it should be the driving force for why you do what you do every day
for the kids.
I'm not saying it shouldn't be. I'm just saying I think for these companies in the private sector, it's all for show.
Okay.
Dinero Primero said, "My wife was let go a few years back, and the uncertainty was terrifying." Sorry, Diego. I thought I read that wrong. I thought that said, actually. "My wife let me go a few years back." That's what I read too, Dan.
That's how I took it. That's why I laughed.
Terrifying. That's what I did. And Dinero said, "Doesn't Major Nelson work at Unity?" I don't know, but at least good news to follow up. Diego was not left by his wife, and his wife did find a new place, and that it is somewhere where she loves. So happy ending for everybody concerning Dinero Primero. Guys, let's skip the EA question. We'll save that for another time. Closing quick segment. Actually, this isn't really, well, we'll just mention it here. Guys, Ninja Turtles is coming to Call of Duty, like Logan mentioned earlier. I just saw this right before we came on the show and added it. My God, you guys, right away.
There goes my money.
Exactly. I said Bobby Kotick from the grave has got my ass again, and I'm going to be buying these Ninja Turtle. These Ninja Turtle skins, you guys, you bet your ass I'm in. I don't care what these turtles look like.
Or all of them? Or?
All it says is Kodabunga coming soon, and it just says Call of Duty Cross Teenage Mutant Ninja
just
Turtles.
bought Terminator, though. Gosh dang it.
I want the Brightmere one. The Brightmere. Like
which one is that?
It's the one that's got the unicorn gun.
Oh,
it's amazing. It's amazing.
That's what you bought, Logan, was Brightmare?
No, it's no. I bought the vampire one, but I've been like hovering the buy button for the Brightmare for a long time.
I bought the replacer.
Glad you saved your money, because
me too.
And I got the Squid Game ones. But yeah, based Eric in the chat. Raphael is clearly the best turtle. Absolutely. Yeah. Raphael is the best. Absolutely. Number one. Okay. That's not even up for debate. And
did you notice how Dan has anger issues and he loves Raphael? Doesn't really make that connection.
Based.
I also think April's the right answer, Dinero.
And who does April end up with in the end?
Casey Jones.
Canon. Raphael.
No.
It's canon.
No.
Guys. By the way, did you read The Last Ronin, Bacon?
I'm still trying to figure out how to read it.
Oh,
get an audiobook, Bacon.
Front
I just
to back.
don't know how to.
He doesn't. It's a freaking graphic novel. It's
Is
not
it left to right? Because
yes, left to right.
I've never read a
up
comic
down,
before.
top down. Yes.
Okay.
What are you, a boomer? What are you?
I've never held a comic book again in my life.
Boomers grew up with
Comics have been around
too.
forever.
Gentle Stone likes Leo. Nerd chat
dyslexic.
said Donatello. That's Jose. I was saying, will you start saying dash Jose so they know who's speaking here?
I'm the only one on every social.
I
No,
could reply
no,
once
no,
this.
no. When I
Everyone knows-
respond to comments in our YouTube as the Nerd Chat, I'll write Daddy D Wally, and I respond in heart with the Nerd Chat. Okay, Jose.
Well, I'm the producer of this show, sir. So I will write what
Here,
I
I
want.
just
See, Bacon. See, now who's who? I don't know who wrote Donatello.
This-
You notice that I capitalized it? Bacon?
Guys, let's jump into a
I
perfect segue. What have we been playing or watching? And we're excited to have our first preview from our special intern, Captain Logan. He has played Avowed. He had early access. He did not do the review. Everyone shout out. Go watch XCP and Luke's review. I did watch some of it. I did comment. Make sure to shout it out. Logan, yeah, tell us, no spoilers, not too many details, just what you feel has stood out to you from your journey in Avowed so far, and if you would like to give it some sort of rating. What do I need to go buy this right now? Is the bottom line.
So Avowed, coming from a fandom that I love Grounded, I love Outer Worlds. I think that those games are fantastic. Avowed is a game everyone who has like a fan of fantasy should jump into. As someone who doesn't know anything about Divinity, I was still able to follow along enough with this game, especially because of the things that they put into this game that kind of give you like you ever watch like a movie on Amazon and it's got that X-ray feature?
Yes,
and
I love the X-ray.
It tells
yeah.
you like what
It's so
these
cool.
people that is in this game.
Awesome.
So if you don't know what these characters or names or these
Logan,
little
did you
pronouns
play
are-
Final Fantasy 16?
No, I didn't.
So yes, I hear it's similar to that, Bubble Boy. Go ahead, Logan.
Go. Yeah, go.
So I will say, having no background for the actual franchise, this game was an amazing experience to jump into. The combat is fantastic.
I hear it's so good.
I love how it gives you a sense of weight and a kind of like stature. Like when you get knocked back, your character flies back. When you slam into something, you feel it. Like when you shield bash someone, it's like what I hope for when I see them wanting to make like a Captain America movie. The shield bash in this game feels impactful. It's great. And on top of that, amazing writing. You've got some really good
Logan,
dialogue between characters.
Can I ask you about combat really quick? Is it better than Skyrim's combat?
That would be a hard question for me to answer.
The answer is yes. It's probably yes. Number two, though, for the ranged versus close, can you easily switch between those and level those up easily? Like, are you like tied to one combat style, or can you do it on the fly and level where you want and swap it easily and level those up easily as well?
So you can respec at any point. The issue that I would say that this game has is that the design is intended for you to stick with one, just based on how you upgrade your items, how many points you get as you're like leveling. The scale of the leveling really does only give you like maybe 1 point every hour or so based on how you're progressing throughout the zone. So they really want you to just kind of narrow down on one, but you can technically respec as many times as you want, depending on how much gold you have. But I would say like find some weapons that you like and a play style that you like and stick with that as far as you can go. Yes, Dan in the front.
Thank you. And on that as well, you just talked about leveling. Would you say it's similar to how quickly you were leveling up in Starfield, or quicker, slower? Just what do you think?
I think it's faster than Starfield. I think the pacing is a lot better than Starfield. I think with Starfield, it felt like you were spending a lot more time kind of hopping from planet to planet. Yes, Bacon in the back there.
Did you go first person or third person?
First person feels a lot better, to be perfectly honest.
I hear you have to set up two different characters. You can't like switch on the fly from first to third person. Like,
no.
Oh, so you can. I can choose to do one mission in first and one mission in third.
Yeah, it's tied into accessibility or just the camera settings. You're more than welcome to. Dan, I saw your hand raised first.
Thank you.
Jose will get to it.
Thank you. I forgot. Go ahead, Bold Boy. God dang it.
I have to go to the bathroom. Can I go, Mr. Logan?
Yeah, just make sure you come back in a reasonable
Oh,
amount
I
of time.
remember now. I remember now. I
Thank you,
remember for real. Can you rebind all the buttons to whatever you want, or is it presets?
It's that's a really good question. I've spent all of my time on
Default.
PC on default. There is key binding options, but I found them natural enough that I was completely comfortable with all of them.
Okay, I'm done.
So, what? Anyone other questions?
Hands? Oh, go.
Finish your thoughts, and you might talk about what I'm going to ask you. But go ahead.
Well, he's going on to writing. I just wanted to stick with like combat for now. That's why I was kind of asking those now.
All right,
So
I'm going to wait.
right.
Go ahead, Logan.
What I will say about the writing is that the dialogue to dialogue, like person to person kind of conversations, are very well written. The one thing that I think that this game suffers from is kind of that Bethesda pedigree that came over from when they created Obsidian, and you tend to have that kind of talking heads situation. And I think one of the few things that I critique about Bethesda games and Obsidian games is that when you're having dialogue conversations with people, you can be having a conversation with someone who just lost their parents and are crying, and they are deadpan faced straight to you, and you're listening to the empathy coming in, or you're listening to the like the pain that's coming in the voice, and it's just completely emotionless. There's no like covering your head. There's no reaction to that. A lot of that is lost, which is why I critique a lot of these games based on that when I play games like Cyberpunk 2077, which is so kind of like
they're the best. They're the best.
Yeah, there's a lot of emotive conversation in Cyberpunk compared to like this one. So that was one of the
Hellblade. Like, imagine the facial
Oh yeah, I forgot
expressions.
about Hellblade
and-
too. Yeah,
and
and the body language, the movement. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of what you would expect people to be doing in conversations like this is lost with the way that they've kind of like brought in some of that old school Bethesda blood for some of this games. But the writing is still exceptional, and I love the conversations, and I love the gray zone that they live in when it comes to the morality of the situation that you're placed in, because it is not good guy versus bad guy. You will have to make some hard choices, and very much like Banishers, you're going to have to decide yourself, how do you feel about this situation? You're kind of going to find yourself like with Mass Effect games where you're going to not necessarily have just a straight good or bad or like evil or good kind of like choice. You're gonna live in that gray zone, and your companions are gonna be there to help support you or not support you, and sometimes give you varying options as far as like the support that you could be getting. One person could say, yeah, you should definitely go this way, and one person could say, definitely don't go that way. And you're gonna have to really like wrestle with some of those outcomes, because some of those outcomes could be very dire for entire zones.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I want to give anyone an opportunity to jump in about
I'm
that.
good on writing. I kind of want to just experience that. I'm not like,
Yeah.
got any specific questions for that? Keep going.
I would say that this is definitely like one of the more attractive games that I've seen. Obsidian has a really, really good way of throwing color into environments and having the different biomes that they do. I think you guys are going to find something that was lacking in, say, like Halo Infinite, where we only had like the one biome. And so many people were asking for like, where's the desert? Where's the ice? Where's that, all the different biomes and stuff like that. So you'll find that with Avowed, and that paired with the good combat, the excellent dialogue.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. I see a lot about the parkouring and the movement. That's really good, apparently.
Yeah, the movement feels really good. This game is exceptional when it comes to exploration. The old game design additive, if you put a waterfall in a game, you have to put a chest behind the waterfall. That is something that is like inherent in all of the game. Like if you see a rooftop and you think, I wonder if there's anything up there, I'm going to go up there and take a look. Yeah, there's a bird nest. What is it? It's got an egg. You can use the egg to cook. It's got coin in there. You can go around the corner and find a backpack. You can loot the backpack. And the other thing that I like about this is that it doesn't punish you for things that they give you as an opportunity to do. So if you were to play Starfield and you were to go into an area where there was police around, you could see stuff on the table and they would say, hey, you could take that stuff if you want it, but if you do, you're stealing, and if you get caught, you're going to have to pay the price. In this game, they're like, No, this is a game. That is a resource. We put the resource in there for you to take. So take it. Don't have to worry about stealing or not stealing or consequences. It's like, no, just enjoy the game. Just enjoy the fact that you're going through this world.
It sounds like they just want you to have fun, Jose. Is that why
You play to win the game.
Yes, it is very much that. I love the sense that you can explore and be rewarded at every turn. There's very few places where I've gone where you don't get something for your sense of exploration, whether it's an item, whether it's gold, whether it's something unique, whether it's just a little thing that you didn't stumble upon, and they don't punish you for getting to content early. So if there's a bounty on someone, and you don't know that there's a bounty on someone because you haven't gone to the town yet, but you kill them and you pick it up and you're like, oh, apparently somebody had a bounty on this person. Well, that's cool. I'll just stuff this in my pocket and go collect the reward later.
Nice. So closing, Logan, do you feel like the reviews, the Open Critic are fair on this? And what would you rate it? Like, because I'm a little confused with this. I'm saying mostly like high positive, praise for this game. And then the random 6s are throwing me off. So do you understand that? Do you get that? Where would you land? Because I don't know what Luke gave. I didn't watch what his final rating was for it. So tell me what you're thinking.
So we don't do too many as far as like ratings go. We try to recommend as opposed to rate. And I haven't actually finished the game. I'm like 40 hours in, and I fully anticipate spending at least double that just to be able to like actually complete it. I would definitely recommend people jump into this. This is a great RPG for folks that are scared of games like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And if you just want to enjoy, if you want to enjoy that fantasy game, that fantasy style, but you don't want to get bogged down with systems or choices on equipment and all that kind of minutia, it's very much like the looking at a game where I'm trying to think of a good example here, but the smash and grab style of like a Devil May Cry versus like the intricate strategy that is involved with a Monster Hunter game. If you want more of that smash and grab and just have fun, you're going to want to jump into Avowed. And I would urge anyone to, if you like Avowed, go give Outer Worlds a shot, because there's a lot more depth into like the reputations system so far in that one that I really loved about it, and I thought that they should have had something like that in something like Cyberpunk 2077. So I would recommend it.
So yeah, I mean, before I throw it up to the guys for any other questions, I gotta say you've really convinced me. I'm gonna buy the early access. To me, I enjoyed the Outer Worlds, but I thought its combat and gameplay was kind of like the weak part of that game, and you're telling me that's what Avowed has way more than the story and characters and elements and so I'm gonna jump in. I'm downloading right now, you guys.
It's fun.
So,
it's
really
fun.
PS5, Dan.
I'll just log in and it'll auto unlock the trophies on my PS5 Pro whenever I get that down the road. Guys, any questions for Captain Logan on the game? Or
Eric was asking Logan, what difficulty you play on?
Good question.
I play on normal, and everything feels a little below what my power level is, but I've also been focusing heavily on one loadout. Like I found one flintlock pistol and a sword, and I'm living my best ranger pirate life ever. So I refuse to let go of those guys. And normal is allowing me to deal with encounters easily enough that I'm not stressed about them, with the exception of the bosses. And the bosses will give you a run for your money, but you have a lot of room to grow if you want to add more challenge to that. So I would say like normal is great for me just to enjoy and relax. Whereas if I wanted to have a little bit more like thought behind my encounters, granted, I am still using a lot of my spells. Like every spell that I have, potions that I have, things like I'm going through all of that. Like I'm not just kind of like sitting back and killing one and not doing anything. I'm hitting all of my buttons, using all of my companion abilities and stuff. So normal is still a decent challenge, but you can always make it a little bit harder if you want.
Dinero said, wait till Tuesday, Dan. Nissa, Dan, why are you guys telling me to wait? I'm going to spend my money how I want. Okay,
Sony. Logan, my question for you is, if you're starting brand new, or you're giving advice to Dan, who may start it later tonight, give me like top 1 to 3 recommendations
pro strats
tips to start the game maybe better than you did.
Good pro strats.
I would say any vendor that you talk to, buy lockpicks.
Ooh,
and
good post strat.
definitely give yourself the sense. And the lock picking in this game is easy. It says you have a lock pick. How many lock picks does it take to open this chest? 3. Okay, hold the button. It's done. You don't have to. There's no mini game. There's no
Don't
like,
put
I need
Bacon spent hours on the Starfield digipicks. We had to pull him away because he got
And the
stuck so
Skyrim
many
lock
times.
picks, bro. That sucked.
yeah,
I
no,
like the
this is
digipicks.
it's a careful how you say that. There's
I liked them.
very easy. Just you hold down the button and it opens it up. Other advice that I get is go and explore. If you see a point of interest in the world, head to it and don't feel like you're not going to be rewarded for walking off the path. The quests are there to kind of like give you reasons to go get levels.
Would you say, Logan, that it naturally lures you to these locations like the triangle design ever so present in Breath of the Wild?
Actually, yes. Yeah, the seeing something in a world, like walking through a forest and seeing like a ruin of a building, and I'm like, oh, I kind of want to know what's over there. And I go over there, and yeah, there's a puzzle to work out. You have to figure out how to get inside the building, and there's a defined way to get there, but it's going to involve some thought. It's going to involve some parkouring, and you're going to get rewarded for that as well. And then you're like, okay, well, what's next? And you take a look around, and you look for the next interesting thing on the horizon.
Nice.
Does it have breakable weapons?
No.
Thank you.
So
Thank God.
that's fixed.
Is there a stamina bar?
There is, but not for running or jumping, only for combat.
Does it make the combat less fun? Does it impede or slow you down when you're combat? Is it a pain? The stamina bar.
Not for the ranger. I can imagine as a warrior, if you're eating hits with your shield, you're going to lose a lot of stamina, but the gear is designed to influence that. And the gear design, I like how simple they've made like the whole concept of like, okay, well, this is a pro, this is a con, this is how you upgrade it. This very simple in the thought process that they've gone in to do that. I think it's just a little. I don't think they've given you enough materials to be able to upgrade as much as you want. But again, I feel like they want you to narrow down while you're playing on one playthrough on one style, and then go back to try the others on like another playthrough.
Gotcha. Game Positive said, "Don't wait, Dan. $20 and you get the DLC." Eric, there's no DLC in this. It's I don't think they're
on,
releasing
Eric.
DLC.
Stop
It's
being a pay monster.
You,
Eric.
you, ju- you just get early access and some
Canadians.
skins from what I see.
Canadians have
And the-
unlimited
and the-
funds.
and the soundtrack and digital art book. But to be fair, I've never paid full price for Game Pass. I've probably paid half or less. I'm part,
You're
of, the
part of
problem,
the problem.
so
Yeah.
I'll help out Obsidian.
I
I'll
never
throw-
have either. Why would you?
I've been paying since 2017, full price, gentlemen.
I will also say, because I'm keeping Ultimate this entire time.
True, and he
And
yeah. I think-
Why not?
Nissa said, "Hey, Logan, Travis said that stuff doesn't respawn in a biome. Does that affect the gameplay for you? Did it affect you with that?
Yes, but in a positive way. There
It's
are
not annoying, right?
yeah,
That is annoying.
there are some things that will respawn. Like there's been times where I've gone and cleared out something and I'll find like a couple guys have been there. I don't know if it's necessarily like a bug or anything, but that's just kind of my experience. But having areas kind of cleared out once you've like gone through and killed all of them is them keeping the balance on the levels. Otherwise you just run around in the opening zone and you just kill everything like it's boars in Elwyn Forest until you get to level 60. So I think that it was nice to have those areas cleared out to allow me to feel free to run around and explore without having mobs slow me down, especially when I've already gone through the process of killing them. I've already got my experience and the equipment from them. I just want to go hunting for secrets, and I don't want to be troubled with
Nice.
the mobs in that sense.
My man ACG tells me there's a bear problem. Is that true? Can you confirm or deny there's a bear problem?
No, you land in the first zone, which has a fair amount of bears as just a natural enemy, but there is a breadth of enemies and classes of enemies within the different like types. So yeah, you're going to see bears, and then you're going to see bears with like sporelings, and then you're going to see elementals with bears. But I would say like by the time you get halfway through the second zone into the third zone, you're not going to run into bears.
Okay.
You're going to run into other stuff.
Like
Gotcha.
lizards and things.
Very, Very nice.
Super
Can I
insightful.
can I jump in? So
No.
what is I'm gonna anyway. Character creator. How long did you spend? Is it fun? One of my it's one of my favorite parts of games.
It is.
And I think a good RPG needs to have a good character creator and like customization throughout. So tell us a little bit about that.
Character creator is pretty simplistic. There are a fair number of presets available that you can go in and tweak beyond that. You get the option to kind of go in and change hair color, facial hair, scars, eyes. There are some sliders for some of like features as far as like facial structure and eyes and brows and width and stuff like that. You don't really get to mess around with your body type. You are kind of like the same body type, and there's like 4 presets there. There are other options as far as like ways to determine how much you want of your character to look like a godlike, which will kind of give you like these kind of fungal growths in your hair or on your face. Yes, Dan in the front.
Can I look like the character that we see in the cover art?
The skull.
The skeleton?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
You can look pretty wild though.
Okay.
But I think that there's a lot going on with that artwork that actually alludes to some of the later stuff in the game.
I love it.
Yes, bacon in the back.
Yeah, any good RPG requires romancing. Is there romancing? in this
No,
game?
there isn't. I think I remember that from
No.
the interview.
Yeah,
Good.
no romancing.
That's
there
a
are
deal
definitely.
breaker.
Good.
Well, it's a shame too because there are some characters in there that I'm like, oh, it's a shame that
I'm okay
you don't
without
actually
it.
get to romance.
Not every game has to have
No.
romance.
Have
in
no
it. Yeah, I remember she
Liara?
said that too. She was talking about
I
how it's
love
like you don't want to force it, and
No.
you want it to have some meaning and impactful. They just didn't feel like it fit
All
their.
my relationships have meaning,
Which is a-
Dan.
Bacon.
It's wild.
Shut the up, Gary.
What I will say is that the character writing is so good that you actually do feel connected to those characters.
Sorry, Logan. Nissa said, "You guys and your dating sims."
I agree, Nissa.
Dude, Liara, it's like life changing.
Anyway, sorry, Logan.
Different.
No, I think that it's a shame that there isn't romancing in this, but given the amount of time that you're on this island and the amount of time that you spend with the companions, it makes sense that there's not really a romance option because you really have not spent a whole lot of time with these people. And because of that, it would be really weird if you're just like, oh, I'm just enthralled with this person that I've known for a couple days.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay.
Any questions, boys? Or are you ready to move on to?
Killed it.
I'm really excited. So
Yeah, I'm
Logan,
excited too.
I
I'm like-
appreciate that so much.
Thank you, Captain. Shout out to Captain Logan from Xbox Expansion, bringing us the facts, the based facts and preview and review that you wanted to hear. Sorry, XCP listeners, you should have listened to us first because you're going to get all this secondhand now from Luke's. Guys, very quickly, what else have we been playing? I'll go quickly. I've just been playing Call of Duty, waiting for this game to come out. I'll be perfectly honest. Bacon and I tried. We played another 15 minutes. He doesn't really seem interested in Dead Island 2.
I am. You've been on your PlayStation all week, bro.
Oh God. And I have reached level 9 prestige.
Damn.
And I have all platinum camos minus 4 more guns, and then I will be on my way to the whatever the
Those-
last one is.
a grind.
Yes, it's pretty
Good Lord,
crazy.
Dan.
Yeah. So been grinding away at Call of Duty. Haven't played it for a while, but having fun playing hearing the Terminator, hearing Bacon and Jose's character say "F you, asshole," and
Get to the job.
it's pretty funny. It makes me want to buy it. But Jose, what about you? What have you been playing?
I honestly mostly been playing COD because of the Terminator event, trying to get a couple of the big things. I didn't realize that you had to spend the skulls. I thought it was an automatic thing. So by the time I figured that out, I had enough to buy the most expensive thing, which was nice. So now I'm just kind of working backwards. And it's been fun. I'm excited to kind of go back to Spider-Man until I can get to Avowed. But it's pretty. Oh yes, Logan, sir, what can I do for you?
Yeah, sorry. I'm just looking to catch up. I missed a lot of the Terminator event. So what would be the best way for me to be getting skulls?
You know what? Honestly, I think Stakeout. with
Stakeout, yeah. And I think if you get like melee kills, close range, I got it real fast. I was like, Jose, at first I was like, I'm never going to get this.
I know.
And then I went to that. It was like
There's still like
real
9
quick.
days left, though,
real
so-
quick. You can easily do it if you just grind
Yeah,
some stakeout.
so close quarters, you're always running and gunning. You'll just run into the skulls.
Okay. I do like meat.
Yeah.
I do that for guns. Sorry, Jose. That's it. Just Call of Duty.
And then I played a little more Spider-Man 2. I love it, man. It's beautiful. Like I don't think it was
Crashes.
anything crazy, but it's fun. I'm having a great time. And then I didn't tell you this last week. We had to go like take my daughter to cheerleading class, and I sat in the car for literally an hour.
What?
Want to go in?
Not allowed.
I played Witcher 3 on my Ally.
Yeah.
And I was like, I literally restarted from the beginning because everybody was
Yeah.
talking about Joe got back in. And I was like, man, I like that game. And I think I said it on the show. I never finished it. I got to like 98% on my original file, and then I stopped because something else came out. So I don't know when I'm going to go back to it, but it's really nice, man. Witcher's such a good game, dude. CD Projekt Red is super rad. So that's about it, man. It's been a ton of gaming this
Before I
week.
throw it over to Bacon, I did forget. I did beat one more game this year, game number 8 for the year. I beat Another World on Steam, about 2 hours to get to 100% Achievos. You can probably beat this game in less than an hour if you know what you're doing. 10 out of 10 nostalgia. Otherwise, maybe a 6.5 out of 10. It's a side-scrolling adventure game with some shooting and puzzles, but so unique when it came out back in the 90s. Even though this was a nostalgia play, and it's certainly a game of its time, 90s SNES, I still think it's worth playing for $5. Shout out to Another World. Bacon, what have you been playing?
My New Year's resolution, of course, is to finish more games, and I've been very good. And I've been playing nothing but Ragnarok.
Oh,
You finish it?
No, God, no.
Oh.
I just looked
He
at my
still has to do the
trophies.
part where he has to squeeze through the wall.
Oh, that's still bad. There's still a lot of squeezing, but I think I lost a trophy during the PlayStation outage because I have 13 trophies on Steam and only 12, and I know which trophy it is, and I'm pretty sure it was right during their shuffle with their.
Do the yak thing again.
So I'm pretty angry if I lose my platinum because PSN was down. I'm gonna be pissed.
No,
and it's a
dude.
trophy that takes.
Why
some
did you
time to
keep
get to.
playing when you knew it was down, Bacon?
Because it's an own Joe and own the PS fanboys who pay for internet they can't use. It doesn't happen on Steam. While it was really bad last week because of all the pacing issues and the setting up and the stories and the walking and talking, this last week has been good. All action. The Berserkers are brutal. But I get to one and I'll fight them like 13, 15, 19, 300 times in a row before I beat them. Personal thing. It's just me. So it's been better. It's still nowhere near as good as 2018, Joe. I'm sorry. This is not the best sequel of all time. I don't
It's
even think
not
it's in
even
the top.
close.
I don't even think it's in the top 10, bro.
50. It's not in the top 50
Right,
sequels.
but still has really good combat. Freya's lazy. She doesn't fight a lot. She just hangs back and lobs arrows. But anyways, it's a good game. I'm going to finish it on. If I don't get this platinum because of the PSN outage, I'm going to be pissed.
Should write a strongly worded letter.
Mhm.
I'm going to ask for my money back from PSN Network.
Oh, you're screwed. Bubble
Actually,
Boy,
it's
what have you
not a
been
bad
playing?
idea. Finished Avatar. I have a gamer grade, but it can wait. It's not like that game just came out and is a preview of ours or anything, so I can do that next week. But I am then also wrapping up. I'm really close to the end of AC2, so I'll start Brotherhood here shortly.
How's AC2 holding up? Better than the one, or
quite a bit better?
Okay.
Yeah. There's still I had to do a little bit of work to get the controls right. And from what I'm gathering on Reddit, all of that ends after 2. So I'm
Good.
excited. I tell you what, though, and you know, I've been a fan of every single game. The way my very elaborate rubric is going right now, I don't know how Odyssey is gonna still be the best one, and it's gonna break my heart a little if it doesn't.
it's because it's not
Odyssey
the
is
best
the
one.
greatest one.
It
No.
might not be,
It
Bacon.
is
It
not.
might not be,
Ooh.
man.
Well, I've really only played like 2 of them, so
Yeah.
Odyssey.
It's just it. I forgot how good that game was, and I loved that game. And
2?
sorry, I'm going back to 2 now.
Yeah, Ezio. Ezio is
absolutely
just so lovable.
and
Like,
some of the best NPCs of any game that I've played since we've been doing this.
by the way, I've been saying Ezio's name wrong. It's like it's not.
Ezio.
It's
Ezio.
You gotta like pronounce it.
no. I think I
Like
remember.
Forza.
You don't say it like
about-
Mario.
No,
What about
I was
E-
listening
No,
to one of.
Ezio.
I was listening to one of these guys read to me in AC and Black Flag, and he was saying it in a very specific way. And we're like, oh my god, I've been saying his name wrong this whole time. I think we all have. But anyway,
Daniel, he was just French, and that's why he said it that way. It's called an accent.
Seal.
No, I'm kidding. But Jose, I forgot all about that part. His uncle's name is Mario, and you first meet him and goes, "It's a me, Mario." And I was
Yep,
like,
I remember
"That's
that.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Man. Anything else, Bob Boy? Just grind away. Oh,
Grinding
Assassin's
away
Creed.
there. Yeah,
All
I
right.
mean that rubric, man. I'm getting into it. So
I hope we see the video for that someday.
I don't know. It's going to be a 3-hour video, but maybe
That's fine.
It's good.
Yeah.
Full of Zenkai Goose. Sorry.
Hey,
Yeah.
Deja Vu, you need to finish God of War before you move on to a family-friendly game, bro.
He needs to move on to Mass Effect trilogy.
Oh,
Good
and
God.
Deja, are you kidding me? Indiana, absolutely.
Oh, and
You have
Indiana
Game
Jones.
Pass? Yeah.
He needs something he can pause when the kid starts crying.
That's what I'm saying.
Indiana
but
Jones, absolutely pause.
Even
and
if you
pick up
don't have Game Pass,
anytime.
worth your money. Like worth full price.
Yeah.
He has
Do
Game
it.
Pass.
Then
Logan, any other games
absolutely.
for you, by the way,
Uh,
besides Avowed? Or are you? Oh, can you tell us if you're previewing another game or what's going on?
Nothing that I'm previewing. Will down the line, we've got some stuff coming down the line for XCP, but right now it's mostly been Avowed and Rust. Oddly enough, there's a Walking Dead mod that I'm playing on a private server, and there's like zombies chasing you around as you're trying to like do your survival building
Okay.
and stuff like that, which has been a lot of fun. So, and I'm one of those guys, like when I play Warzone, I don't really care what happens in Warzone, but I want to go open as many boxes as I can. I don't even care what the loadout is. You could tell me that I have the worst loadout in the world, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm opening boxes.
Yeah.
You would get along well with our friend named Pack Attack.
I was gonna say
Always
Alan.
out
That's where we lost
looting
so
instead of
many
helping us. Guys, let's close the show like we always do with the best food we had this week. Jose, I'm going to throw it over to you. What was the best food you had this week?
So Dan is gonna make fun of me. I don't care. It was my wife's birthday on Tuesday. And so in honor of her, we like, babe, where do you want to go to dinner? And I think it's not just in Colorado. I know it's a chain, but there's a fondue restaurant not too far from our house. Me and
Damn
Chance love to go there with our wives. It's
Bit
called,
of misery, dilly.
the melting pot. It's fantastic, man. It's basically a 4-course meal. It's absurdly expensive, truly, for what you're getting in terms of quantity. But
it?
we always leave full.
In terms
Yes.
of quantity,
Every
you
time.
leave
Very
full. It's
expensive.
worth your time, worth your money, because you spend 3 hours there.
Well, here's the other part.
Disagree.
So if you go on Tuesdays, kids are free.
Oh,
So literally, our
saucy.
daughters both ate free, and because it was her birthday and it was a Tuesday and it was not busy, we got the table with 2 burners,
Yep, the
Oh,
Pro Strat, 2
Pro
burners.
Strat.
2 different like sous vide mixes, 2 different desserts. It was absolutely fantastic. It was like easily the best meal I had this week. And then, as an added bonus, tonight I went and did my 40-year-old doctor appointment. Everything was great so far, just fantastic.
You're
And I didn't have time to
40
cook
now?
dinner.
That's a thing.
Yeah, it turns out health is important.
I
Just
haven't
throwing
been
that
to a
out.
doctor. in
Hashtag
20
health
years.
is wealth.
Health is wealth. And afterwards, I didn't have time, so I was like, "Can we go to Chipotle?" And I kid you not, I got a high school size girth of a burrito at Chipotle tonight. Like it was
Yeah.
massive. I almost couldn't finish it, if you can believe that. It was fantastic. So shout out to Chipotle for an excellent burrito. It's been a great week of food. And on Monday for my wife's birthday, we're going to Hibachi as well. So
Oh,
man,
God, I love me a
eating
good hibachi.
delightful out here.
That's awesome. Speaking of hibachi, not really similar at all, though. But guys, I had Asian. I had new. Is it you guys? You call it New Peking or New Peking?
New Peking.
That's what I
Peking.
thought. New Peking is a Chinese restaurant that's been in our area, the Green Mountain area, since we
Alameda,
were
right?
kids.
50
Still
years.
there.
Yep.
I mean, close, Jose. Like no joke.
Their lunch buffets.
I had sesame seed chicken, Mongolian beef, the lo mein. It was so good. Even Allie's like, man, this place really is good. I'm like, Allie, it's been there since before I moved here back in the 90s. So clearly a staple of the area. So shout out to New Peking Bacon. What about you? What was the best food you had?
So I need to add 3 burritos to the breakfast burrito count.
What?
They're not Dan burritos, but they are in fact breakfast burritos. So I went to Costco looking to do some shopping, and I didn't want to pay $96 for 12 eggs at King Supers, and couldn't find out Costco had no eggs. So eggs are a real problem. I was told the prices are going to come down day one.
Wait, can
Eggs were
someone
gonna be in
explain that
stock.
to me? The
bird
eggs
flu.
not being at Costco. I had no problems
bird
getting
flu.
eggs.
Literally
at Walmart
no
and
eggs
King
at
Supers.
Costco on Monday night, bro.
Bird flu.
So, with that being said, I'm like, what am I going to eat for breakfast? Because I kind of got to have breakfast.
Egg
'cause I don't
whites.
eat lunch. And I found these breakfast burritos. They're not like in the box, like mass produced breakfast burritos. They come in a bag and there's 6 of them and they're wrapped in like butcher block paper from Costco. 2 minutes to warm up. Fantastic. Like a fast throw it in the microwave, 2 minutes, grab your bagel and you're off. So I'm going to give a shout out to those. And then wife bought a 8,000 pot stickers because you can only buy things in batches of 8,000 at Costco. Had some of them last night with a teriyaki Japanese barbecue sauce on the pot stickers. You can only buy at Costco. Super dope.
Todd Oxer said, I made a sombrero dip and Thai sweet wings for the Super Bowl. They were amazing. Nissa Hauer, the new Angela Reese QPC. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Dinero
Well,
Primero.
explain. Hold on. What is that?
I'm late on my 40-year-old doctor appointment by like 5 years, and I seriously need to go for the Yep, you do. When does that start? Does that start for us? Jose?
Ignorance is bliss, Todd. Ignorance is bliss.
That was Dinero. And
What about that Cologuard? I did it my way. I'm serious.
Costco had a recall. Todd said, I've had those burritos, bacon, and Deja Vu said,
good, Todd?
long
Just
week
had
for
them?
me eating on hospital food. Nothing good really to report back. I did have the Angela
What is that?
Reese QPC today. Good, but she's trash. I have no. Oh,
I
is
don't-
that supposed
first
to
of all, I
be
don't know
Angel
who she-
Reese, the basketball player?
Yeah.
Okay, don't know who that is, and what is it?
Pull it up. Hang on. It's
Well,
quarter
someone just
pounder
pull it
cheese
up.
curd.
Yeah. Anyway, well, Jose is
Quarter
getting
pounder
that pulled up.
cheese with bacon, large fries, and a high C orange lava burst drink.
So it's just
Bubble Boy, what's the
QPC
best
with
food you had
orange.
this week?
You're all gonna hate, or I think most of you hate. I love Papa Murphy's. We have Papa
Oh,
Murphy's just
I love
tonight.
Papa Murphy's.
They're
man.
big XL, New York XL with the giant pieces of pepperoni and then their spicy Italian sausage. It's like really crumbly. It's not the thick pieces of sausage. I think it's fantastic. And Annie has a new way of, she calls pepperoni pepper bologna. And I was like, that's incredible. I will now have to call pepperoni pepper bologna for the rest of my life. So not hating on Papa Murphy's.
Yeah, this, by the way, the Angel Reese special is barbecue bacon quarter pounder with cheese. Looks delicious. Got onions. I'd get rid of the pickles. Barbecue sauce, bacon, and I mean, who doesn't like high C? I mean, let's be real.
I mean, your diabetic friend wouldn't like it.
Captain
Straight-ass
Logan,
sugar.
what was the best food you had this week?
I made myself, what is it, caramelized onion meatloaf sandwiches.
My
Oh,
God.
God.
Home cooked potato wedge fries.
That's right. You were on that.
My
Where'd you
God,
get that
sir.
from? Tell us.
I've been doing the HelloFresh.
That's
I've been
right.
getting codes for
Yeah.
them, so I get. I've been doing the deal where I get 6 meals for 2 people, which is like lunch and dinner for me, for $30. For like
What?
Can't
and
beat that.
That's good, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, $30 for 6
Yeah.
meals.
We need to get them to sponsor the show.
Yeah. Hook
Yeah,
us
I
up.
mean, honestly.
HelloFresh.
Shout out to HelloFresh. Sounds incredible.
Shout out to
and
Todd.
Todd Oxter said, my company had the best voted Super Bowl ad.
Was that the
General
one with the
Mills.
movies?
Is that the one where they sang the John Denver song? That was pretty good.
Todd, you're gonna have to send that to me. Please send that in the chat. And Gentlestone, oh man, Deja Vu said I do love a good meatloaf sandy. Gentlestone said I can't wait for the Thin Mints Frosty at Wendy's
good.
starting in 7 or 8 days.
Do they use real thin mints though? That's the
They
question.
do.
Are
They
gonna
do.
pay those Girl Scout prices?
They are. So here, fun fact, one of my buddies works for the marketing team for Wendy's, and not only are they doing actual thin mints for the Frosties, but they're working with local Girl Scout troops in Ohio to have them sell Girl Scout cookies at the Wendy's.
How much is this Blizzard gonna cost? Like $13?
I have no
Girl
idea.
Scout cookies are freaking expensive, guys.
I think it's just regular frosty price.
Logan, one of the funniest things here in Denver at Dan's Costco, not my Costco, because it's ridiculous, but there's also a dispensary right next to it. And during Girl Scout cookie season, they set up literally right outside the dispensary.
Those are smart girls.
Make. Shout out to Todd. Todd says the pizza rolls commercial. That was the one with the creature, right? I think I said, doesn't it die or something? Or is that the one that got cut, Todd? I did see
The one with the
that.
tongue.
Take me home.
And you can get it in vanilla or chocolate variety. I mean, I'll just get a chocolate frosty. That's all. I'm a simple man, gentle son. By the way, best Girl Scout cookie is Samoa's.
Thin
It's
mints,
not
bro.
even close.
Out of the freezer.
Samoa's.
Samoa.
Samoa's.
Belongs, bro.
Science figured that
It's
out
Samoa's.
like a decade ago.
Yeah.
Those are dope. I'm not gonna
Insane.
lie.
Gentlemen, this has been the Nerd Chat episode 198, Sony's State of OK. My name is Daddy Diwali. You can follow me at Daddy Diwali across all social media. You can follow the show at the Nerd Chat Podcast. Don't forget the Chiefs suck. They were down 40-6 with 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Pulled the starters. Don't let that 40-22 score deceive you. It was 40-6 when they pulled all the starters.
How many interceptions did Patty throw?
Patty Mahomes was
Up, Gary.
negative QBR in the first half, just absolutely
13 yards in the
annihilated.
first quarter.
Joining me as always is Jose at Chipotle Bear. Where can people find you, Jose?
You can find me Chipotle Bear everywhere. As always, thank you for everyone in the chat. Always a fun show, laughing. Great to see everybody. Ains, thank you so much. For
Shout
this.
out.
Can't wait to get it to these guys. We're going to get together with our wives for Valentine's here. In a
Wait.
couple weeks.
Oh, I forgot about that. When is that, Jose?
Saturday.
We'll talk about it after the show.
Saturday.
Okay.
The other thing is, I just
wait,
wanna-
what time Saturday?
I want to
Shut up.
shout out all of our friends. There's some really great reviews going up. Obviously,
Yes.
XP with their Avowed review, but go check out like Season Gaming for their South of Midnight. Also, like Gaming Circle with Kay Asante. Go listen to Xbox Era. Like, honestly, dude, like we've been waiting for years for this time in the video game
Too many
world,
games.
in Xbox world, and we are eating so good, man. We obviously want to support all of our friends. Go support Secret Friends Unite. Literally everybody. Thank you for being here, guys. Have a great week. Go play some games, and we'll see you next week.
Guys, I forgot to shout out. I also made a review on the Razer Wolverine V3 Pro White Edition. Go check that out. Bacon hates that I didn't keep that controller, but there were deal breakers.
You
I'm
didn't
sorry.
mention the
It's
best
not.
buttons on the controller.
I didn't
bro.
use them. So
How do
completely.
you not use those?
Because I don't
They're
play
the best
claw
place-
style like a freak.
I
and
don't
use
either. My
that.
finger's always there, bro.
Chance doesn't even use them either. He said he doesn't even reach the shoulder buttons.
Correct. But the back of the what do you have there, Logan?
It's
Oh, this is
literally-
it's
got a
Earth
standard-
Day.
Oh, yeah.
A good looking
Day
controller.
edition.
Yeah. It's a great
that
controller.
rests right on top of it.
This is the
Dan,
best.
the back of the scuff, does it not dig into your fingers?
No, my fingers rest so comfortable right there, Chance. It's so
No, that's
comfortable.
digging where the slider is for the trigger stops.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't feel them, but I can see that. But you know
Your
why?
Fingers can't reach the bumpers.
He broke his finger.
No,
I'm
I don't
talking
feel
about on
it.
the back. So
You
on
saying
the,
he has small hands?
Yeah,
He
these
does have
gray
small
buttons
hands.
right there, Chance. The
Yeah.
trigger stops. No, I don't feel them at all.
I feel them on my
I-
scuff.
don't understand how that's possible.
I don't understand how y'all can't touch this button.
Anyways, if you want controller reviews, go check it out. I'm also in the process of comparing all three. Jose took a good screenshot of me
Oh, don't do that.
I'm not
face.
taking
with
Stop
all
doing
three of
that
them.
face, bro.
X Bacon Game, and where can people find you?
Unfortunately, you can still find me on Twitter because that's where all the best salt is, and I hate that I have to go there, and I hate that I put money into Elon's pocket. I wish he'd go out of business, but you can find me at Twitter on the X Bacon Gaming. Hey, shout out to the chat. You guys were awesome tonight. Go check everybody out. Like Jose said, I'm not going to name them all off because he's better than I am.
Todd Oster says, "Base Dan, thank you. I appreciate that, Todd.
What's he
As
based
always,
about? Nothing.
Bubble Boy, where can people find you?
Is
The
it-
Chiefs off season picking up free agent offensive lineman.
Oh, they do need some
Sure.
of those.
Yeah, sure.
They also need another wide
The
receiver.
Big Red's coming back and Patty's coming back, so who cares? That's that.
Big Red. Captain
the
Logan,
walrus.
where can people find you? Great name.
You guys can find me over on Blue Sky at Capt Logan. Other than that, just keep an eye out for Xbox Expansion Pass as we keep putting out content. We're doing a spoiler cast I believe, next week for Avowed. So we're gonna
This early?
Fun.
Can't go
Yeah.
this early.
Spoiler cast?
No.
No.
Well, you have
People
to
are just
set that
getting
back
it.
about
People are just
3
getting
months.
it. That's too
Hey,
early.
hey, it's their
No
show.
one,
Let them do
no
their
one
show.
says no one says you got to listen right away. Just slip
we
it
always
into your
listen to your
back
stuff.
pocket.
Yeah,
No,
we're
it'll
there.
be split from the regular show. It'll be its own
Right.
episode, so you don't have to listen to that one right away. But
I don't like it.
But we loved having you. So
We loved Captain Logan from XEP. You are always welcome here. Joe is always forever banned. We would like to get Luke, but he's always asleep.
He does.
Shout out to XEP, just one of the greatest communities, greatest Discord. Bring us and feel like
thank you.
family over there.
Yep.
And then Game Positive is still here. He said Jets are greater than the Chiefs and Horsies.
They need
I
a
thought he was being
quarterback.
Jose's.
bro.
I thought that's who he's spelling
You
it.
guys just let go the best quarterback you're ever going to have. So even though he had an off year, come on, Chance, come on. Aaron Rodgers can still play. Let's be
weird.
right.
he didn't do his darkness retreat. So how could he?
He's a weirdo.
As always, gentlemen, never forget the Chiefs were down 40-6 and 9 minutes left, fourth quarter. Pulled the
Shut the
starters.
up, Gary.
As always, thank God the Chiefs lost, gentlemen. See you online. No three-peat.
See you online.
See you online.
See you online.
Do you online?
see you online.
Had the most incredibly romantic time. I thought we were going to be together forever, and then about a week later, right out of the blue, she sends me a John Deere letter. She give you any reason? Yeah, I called her up. She gave me a bunch of crap about me not listening to her enough or something. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention.
The Nerd Chat is an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. You can follow the show at the Nerd Chat Podcast across all social media. The show was created by Daniel Walenzik, and you can follow him at Daddy D. Wally. Co-host and producer Jose Martinez III can be found at Chipotle_Bear. Former intern, now co-host Jason Jarrett can be found at XBaconGaming. And former co-host, now returning intern Chance Siegel can be found at BubbleBoy N7. If you'd like to find out more about the show, please visit nerdchatmedia.com. And as always, see you online.